While Mike and his friends were ice skating, they noticed something that wasn't supposed to be there. A large rock was lying in the middle of the lake. But as Mike got closer, he realized it wasn't a rock. It was a large crocodile struggling to get out of the frozen lake. Mike decided to help, but when the animal was released, he would quickly regret that decision. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. When Mike and his friends went on a little trip to ice skate over the frozen lake, something they've done many times before, they never expected things to take a turn. Mike was the first to notice something strange in the distance. He thought it was a rock at first, which could be dangerous to other skaters, so he decided to go over and see if he could move the rock to the mainland. However, the closer Mike got, the more he realized it wasn't a rock. It was something much more unusual. There was something very strange about the rock. It was a bit elongated, and it looked frozen. Additionally, it had some elements on it that you don't usually see on rocks. When Mike squinted and looked at the object more closely, he was shocked and quickly pulled away when he realized his face was inches away from a large crocodile head. It was only the crocodile's head sticking out of the frozen lake, so Mike just stood there for a moment, staring at the head. He was wondering why the animal didn't move to attack or anything, so he felt safe enough to approach the terrifying animal. When Mike got closer, he understood why the crocodile wasn't moving. His lower body was completely trapped in the ice. Mike wasn't sure that the crocodile was even alive until he saw the crocodile's eyes moving. There was no doubt about it. He was alive. It was just dawning on Mike how extraordinary this situation was when he was confronted by a dilemma. Should he or should he not help this animal in distress? The easiest option was to just skate away and avoid any risk. But deep down, Mike knew that he couldn't live with himself if he left the animal out in the cold to die slowly. So this is where we ask you, what do you think you would have done? Let us know in the comments. Now, Mike realized that there was just no way to break the ice with his ice skates. It was too thick, so he would need some help. In the distance, Mike's friends had no idea what was happening. After inspecting his surroundings and confirming there was nothing he could use to break the ice, Mike went back to his friends. Now, some of them were worried because Mike had been away for a while, and others were irritated. Eventually, he explained in detail what he discovered, but no one believed him. Now, it was Mike's turn to be irritated. He finally asked them to follow him, and they were all intrigued enough to go with him. They were all shocked to see everything Mike said was true. There was a crocodile stuck on the ice, and he was still alive. Once they processed how absurd the situation was, they agreed to help Mike set the crocodile free. So they got to work. 2 of Mike's friends drove to the nearest house to ask for tools to break the ice, and 2 friends stayed with Mike and watched the animal. When the others returned with the tools only 15 minutes later, everyone was ready to start breaking the ice. They all looked at each other for a moment to confirm that this was the right thing to do, and then they got to work. The ice was thick, so even with the tools they had, it was a difficult process. The winter had been long, so had the crocodile been trapped in the ice all that time? If so, how did it survive the cold? These were the questions on Mike's mind as he worked to break the ice. He knew that crocodiles were cold-blooded and could last a long time without food, but the situation was so extreme that he wondered if it was already too late for the animal. Mike and his friends had been working for a while now, so there was no turning back. They would get the crocodile free, no matter what it took. Finally, cracks started to appear on the ice, and they could see the crocodile's limbs a bit better. That's when Mike decided to step back and deliver one last blow to the ice near the crocodile's head. The impact echoed across the lake, and the ice started to crack. It didn't seem to want to stop, and the group of friends looked at each other in shock. One of them moved his foot over the surface to look under the snow, and he stopped, frozen in place. Quietly, he said, "Guys, stop! I think something's wrong." Mike and the others stopped moving, and Mike followed his friend's gaze. When he realized what was happening, he gasped. All around them, the ice was cracking. They didn't realize that their weight, combined with the hard pounding, would also break the ice around them, putting them in danger. They were in the middle of the lake and had no way to get back to shore without risking the ice breaking below them. To make matters worse, Mike's last blow had worked, and the crocodile was getting free, slowly moving towards them. Every time the crocodile moved, the ice around him fell into the water, and it made the cracks around them worse. Everyone started to panic. They had to act fast, or they would either fall through the ice or be attacked by the crocodile. They had two options: run away as fast as possible and hope for the best, or call emergency services and stay put. But everyone was panicking, so the group couldn't agree on what to do. Meanwhile, the crocodile was struggling to move. It looked like it wanted to crawl on the ice, but it couldn't. Before we continue, make sure to give the video a thumbs up to help it reach 7K, and don't forget to subscribe. At that moment, Mike decided that they had to finish freeing the animal and then escape as quickly as possible. But when he turned, he saw most of the group was already running, getting away from the lake. Only Mike, Nick, and Corey stayed behind. But when Mike told them what he wanted to do, they apologized and ran away as well. Mike couldn't leave the crocodile in that state. He just knew that he wouldn't be able to live with himself. So he decided to be quick about it. Mike's plan was simple. He would turn his shovel upside down so that the handle faced the crocodile, hoping he would bite it so that Mike could pull him out of the icy water. He was sure the plan would work. The crocodile was startled by the stick at first, and he lunged at it, but then eventually he bit the stick, and Mike used all his strength he had to pull the animal out. The crocodile crawled onto the ice as Mike pulled, causing him to lose his balance and fall back onto the ice. As Mike hit the ice, a loud crunching sound echoed across the lake, and he fell through. He could hear his friends panicking on the surface, and then he saw the hole the crocodile was in. He tried to get out of the lake through it, but just like the crocodile, he was stuck. And then the crocodile was coming straight to Mike's head. At this point, there was nothing Mike could do, so he just closed his eyes and waited for the attack. However, instead of sharp teeth, he felt someone grab him by the neck. It was his friend Nick, who came to the rescue and pulled him out of the water. Once he was out, Mike thought quickly and grabbed the shovel off the ground and raised it above his head as if he were about to hit the crocodile, who had gotten closer. He just wanted to scare the animal. And it worked. The crocodile escaped to the other side of the lake, allowing Mike and his friend to get to land. Now, when Mike was underwater, he could see something shiny close to where the crocodile was stuck. He decided he wanted to go back. Now, as you can imagine, his friends were in shock. They couldn't understand why he wanted to go back. He just fell into a frozen lake, and there was a crocodile around. But they decided that they wouldn't leave their friend again, so a few of them went with him. Mike went back into the hole as his friends kept watch, and then when he resurfaced, he was ecstatic. It turns out that the shiny object was a gold coin. But not just any gold coin. It looked different, and Mike was sure that he had found something amazing. The ordeal was finally over, and the friend group vowed to never do anything that stupid ever again. Later that week, Mike went to get the coin appraised, and to his shock, it was worth $2,000. He hit the jackpot, but he wouldn't keep all that money to himself. He donated a portion to a local crocodile sanctuary, because even if the animal isn't friendly, Mike still felt that it was his duty to give something back. Amazing, isn't it? Let us know what you think of this story in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until the next video.